Good afternoon, and welcome to the ceremony to honor Elizabeth with the highest award in American Heritage Girls, the Stars and Stripes Award. My name is Chris Harker. I'm the troop coordinator for AL 3110. I have been honored to serve with AL 3110 for the last 6 years. I'm pleased to serve as Master of Ceremonies for this ceremony, for this celebration. Wonderful honor that Elizabeth has worked so hard. Welcome to all the AHG members and leaders. Please stand to be recognized. Leaders. These are all the leaders for our troop, and they are the backbone of our troop. Without our leaders, we would have no troop, and without our leaders, we would have no models for what we are trying to instill in these girls as leaders, as women of integrity. Thank you, ladies. We also welcome any Trail Life families, Eagle Scouts, and other scouts here tonight. Welcome to Elizabeth's family and friends. We have one small change in our program today that's not listed in your program. We will have a special guest speak after the Stars and Stripes requirements are presented. Now I would like to present our guest of honor, Elizabeth, escorted by her brother and Eagle Scout, Jeffrey Knopp.
Everyone, please rise for the presentation of the flag and the Pledge of Allegiance. Color Guard, attention. Troop, attention. Troop, salute. Those audience, please rise. Those not in uniform, please place your right hand over your heart. Please remove your hats. Color Guard, forward march. Color Guard, halt. Color Guard, advance the colors. Color Guard, prepare to post the colors. Color Guard, post the colors. Color Guard, salute. Please join us in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ready to. AHG sign. Please join us in reciting the American Heritage Girls Oath. I promise to love God, cherish my family, honor my country, and serve in my community. Please join us in reciting the American Heritage Girls Creed. As an American Heritage Girl, I promise to be compassionate, helpful, honest, loyal, perseverant, pure, resourceful, respectful, responsible, and reverent. Ready to. Color Guard, reform. Color Guard, forward march. Color Guard, halt. Color Guard, dismissed. Troop at ease. Audience, please be seated. John Patterson, youth pastor from Calvary Bible Church, will lead us in prayer and an invocation now.
If you guys will, pray with me. Lord, I thank you for this time, Lord. Thank you for this opportunity that you've given us to come here and to celebrate Elizabeth's accomplishments, Lord, with the American Heritage Girls. Lord, I pray that the rest of this ceremony, Lord, glorify and lift you up. And Lord, that you would be exemplified through the works of the American Heritage Girls and all that is done here tonight. I just want to lift this up, Lord, not something out of my own desire, Lord, but to glorify you. Amen. Lizzie has asked me to give a short message to encourage us and draw us into focusing on Jesus Christ during this time. That is the main reason, why we live and why we breathe, and should be the main reason why we gather here as well. So I wanted to share a little bit about my personal life verse. It's actually Psalm 27:4. It says, "One thing I have asked of the Lord, that I shall seek, to dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord and to meditate in his temple." I think there are several good points and several things that I try to exemplify in my own life from this verse. David, as he was writing the psalm, and as he wrote many of the psalms, he continued to implore the Lord for salvation, from deliverance from his enemies, from rescuing from times of hardship, from leading him through the valley of the shadow of death. But in this time, he asked the Lord for one thing. He says, I asked one thing of the Lord, and it's an interesting thing that he asked for the Lord, because he doesn't ask the Lord to actually change his circumstance or get him through a time of hardship. He asks him for one thing. He says, "One thing I've asked the Lord, that I shall seek." He's actually asking the Lord to change something in him. He's not asking to change the circumstances around. He's not asking for the hardships to go away. He's asking that the Lord is present with him, that he would seek out the Lord in those times, that he would draw near to the Lord, that he'd seek that personal relationship with the Lord and the closeness to him during that time. And you can see that through the three things that he follows with the things that he asks the Lord to help him to seek those. The first of which is that I shall be in the presence of the Lord forever. It's seeking to be with the Lord. It's seeking to be where the Lord is working, where the Lord is, and where the Lord dwells. In the Old Testament, it was a lot harder to do that, right? There was one place where the Lord was, but now we have the Holy Spirit, and he dwells within us, and we have access to the Lord anytime that we want. And so the prayer of my heart is that I shall seek to be in his presence at all times, that I shall seek to desire to be where he is working, and I desire to be with him. The second thing is to behold the beauty of the Lord, is that I shall seek to behold the beauty of the Lord. And I can see that through creation, through his work in my life, and through the work that he has in sanctifying people like Lizzie, as she's gone through American Heritage Girls, she's gone through high school. We can see the sanctifying work, the beautiful work of Christ in the hands of those that are truly his. And we can see that beauty, and asking that we can see that. We can see his work, we can see his grace, we can see his love reflected through our life. That's one of the things that I continually ask the Lord to help me seek to see his beauty and all that he's done for me. And the third thing is he asks to meditate in his temple, to really learn from the Lord, to really take what the Lord has told us, what the Lord has commanded us through his word, and to start implementing that in my life. We're to seek the truth. We're to seek what the Lord has commanded us to do. We're to seek God's will for our life and to meditate on what that truly is, to dwell in that all day and allow that to change the life that we live. And so David, as he's asking this one thing of the Lord, he's asked so many things through the Psalms, but he says, I've had one thing to ask. I want to be in your presence. I want to personally be with you, to be in your presence, to behold your beauty, and to meditate, to handle your truth, and to implement it in my life. And so I encourage you, as we go through this ceremony, as we leave these doors, that we seek that for ourselves. We seek the presence of the Lord. We seek to be aware of the beauty that goes on and the grace that he shows to us and to those around us and the beautiful work he does in them. And then seek to know the truth that he has told us to do, and to seek to meditate on that and apply that into our lives in a way that's applicable, in a way that demonstrates integrity and Christ-likeness in our lives. And that is what I want to encourage you guys with this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Patterson. American Heritage Girls is a national Christ-centered character development program. Girls involved in the program can earn badges in 6 areas of interest, including outdoor skills, science and technology, the arts, family living, heritage, and personal well-being. The organization also stresses community service, faith, patriotism, and building leadership skills in young women. Girls ages 5 through 18 can be involved. There are 5 levels divided by age: Pathfinder, Tenderheart, Explorer, Pioneer, and Patriot. The Stars and Stripes Award is the highest award that an American Heritage Girl can earn. It is a multifaceted award that honors girls who epitomize the oath and the creed. Earning this prestigious award means that you have worked diligently and have fulfilled all 6 of AHG's program emphases by meeting all of the award requirements. In essence, this award recognizes that you have laid the foundation for becoming a woman of integrity. In order to pursue this award, an American Heritage Girl must first earn her Dolly Madison Award, which involves completing badges, serving at least 40 hours of service, planning and leading a 15-hour service project, participating in an AHG recruitment event, and earning a Spiritual Development Award. Once a Patriot earns her Dolly Madison Award, she may start her journey to earn her Stars and Stripes. To earn this award, the Patriot needs to complete at least 16 badges, write a spiritual walk essay, create a resume, go through the tedious process of planning, organizing, and implementing a 100-hour service project, and finally pass a board of review. For Elizabeth's project, she organized and led 2 work days in which volunteers removed bark, sanded and sealed railing posts, and 7 columns in the lodge at the Vision Ministry. The project took a total of 229 hours and 29 minutes of cumulative service between all the volunteers and all of Elizabeth's work to complete it. Elizabeth is now the 4th Stars and Stripes recipient in the state of Alabama and the 429th in the nation. During her 4 years in AHG, Elizabeth has grown and learned a lot. We will now hear from 2 special people who have known Elizabeth as she had worked toward this award. They will share with us how they have seen the characteristics taught in AHG in Elizabeth's life and how she has grown as she has traveled in this journey. First, please welcome Mr. Billy Dunlap from the Vision Ministry.
Well, I have to say it's a real honor for me to be here, and I'm so thankful for that, and so impressed with Elizabeth and what she accomplished during this time. I have to go back and give a little history before Elizabeth first made her call to us at the Vision. By the way, this is my wife back here that's sitting with me, Sonia. We started this ministry about 15 years ago, and about 3 years ago, we had the opportunity to purchase a building down on Hobbs Island Church. It was an old, on Hobbs Island Road, it was an old Presbyterian church, been there 175 years. They closed their doors, and we thought we can repurpose this building and use it as part of what we're doing at the Vision because of its close proximity. And one of the things that this church had that had to be removed was several old cedar trees. These trees are 180 years old, which for an American cedar, that's huge. And so when you read this, if you haven't been out to the lodge and seen what they've done, these are not trees. These are not trees. These are trees. They're this big around. And they were cut down because they were too close to the church. And so there was a lot of concern in the neighborhood about these trees being taken down because they'd been there through so many generations, so many years. But because of how close they were to the building, they were just taking over the roof. They had to come out. And so when we took them down, I really had no intention of doing anything with them other than just getting them down away from the foundation. As they sat there day after day, I kept looking at them and thinking there's got to be a way to purpose these trees. And of course, the lodge was under construction. And when I looked at those trees, I thought, if I could figure out how to get these inside that building, they would be really a cool addition to the building and use as a support structure. And so we began the process of getting heavy equipment to load them on trailers and move them about 7 miles from where they were over to where this building's being built. And they were so tall that we couldn't get them inside. So we cut them in half long ways. But we maintained the lower half of the tree with the upper half when we installed them back into the building. And so once I got them in there, they sat there for several months, and I scratched my head because they were rough. They were very rough. They had a lot of bark, not a little bark, but a lot of bark. They had a lot of imperfections, and they also were not smooth trees. They were trees with limbs and branches and indentions and knots, and so they're not a smooth type tree. And I didn't really know how we were going to go about laboring out turning these into things of beauty. And Elizabeth called and explained to me about her project, about what she was doing. I was so impressed first with her presentation on the phone that I thought, okay, this might work. And I said to myself, I said, you know, if they can just get one or two done, that'll be good. That'll be a start, and we can go from there. But she organized a team and put this thing together with the help of friends and family, and they did an amazing amount of work in those 200 hours, an amazing amount of work. In fact, they actually finished early, several hours early. But if you haven't had a chance to go and see these, you know, we did so much work on this building to get it ready, but what people talk about, what they talk about when they walk through the double doors of that building and they go in, the first thing, and I mean, we did a lot of work. We did a lot of rock work. We've got a big buffalo in there. We've got rugs. It's like those trees. And they go over to them and they touch them and they rub them, and they're beautiful, and they've maintained their beauty, and they're such a long-lasting, permanent part of what that building is. So I'm here to thank Elizabeth first for choosing the vision for her project and being a part of that, and I guess also to say, any of you other girls have a project? There are other things that can be done on that camp, and so thank you so much, Elizabeth. Thank you to your family to be able to witness those 2 days of the family unit first, and then the unit of friends. The way everybody worked together, it was a blessing to us. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Mr. Dunlap. Our next person who will speak is currently our troop shepherd. She has also served as a patriot and I think a pioneer unit leader. She's watched Elizabeth and quite a few other girls grow as they've come up in the AHG years. Mrs. Malia Prevost.
Okay, if you know me, I have to do this first, okay? Where's Lizzie? There she is, okay. Okay, no, wait, let me get one for everybody before you go later, okay? Okay, no, that's, they say I'm Mamarazzi because I always have the camera, but it's exciting to be here this afternoon to celebrate this milestone. And Elizabeth, I have to call you in Elizabeth's life, she being the 4th Stars and Stripes recipient in the state of Alabama. I don't know about you, but that's exciting to me. Having Eagle Scouts in our family too, the numbers that they give you, they have a lot of national numbers, and what percentage actually make it to this high of a level is very small from the ones that start as Cubs and then even into the Scouts at 11. But so the number, it's the same principle though in American Heritage Girls. A lot of them will start out. I mean, we're going to have to separate our Tender Heart, which is 1st through 3rd grade unit, into 2 units because we have so many at that age, but very few of them will retain, will stay with the program to make it to this high honor. If you're not familiar with the program, you probably have heard of the Eagle Scout or the Trail Life Freedoms Rangeman. This is that equivalent, and Ms. Harker listed a lot of the stuff that they do to earn that program. You said 40 hours though, and I got to thinking about that. It's 20 hours for every year that they're in. So if they were in for 4 years, that would be 80 hours of just their minimum amount as a patriot. If they're 6 years, then we're talking, well, 6 is a little bit different. So it's 90 hours for the Pioneers. Or is it 20 at Pioneers? It's a lot of hours, though. Just what the minimum that we expect for this high honor. There is someone trying to get in the door. Is there someone in the back maybe that could step and open the door for them? It's a mom with children, and she's, bless her heart, very frustrated that there's nobody at the door. Okay. The other little thing about the Stars and Stripes Award is that they can't begin to work on it in earnest until they receive their Dolly Madison, which is a level award that is totally different. It's that you can begin working on your level award when you first become a high schooler, 9th grade, as a Patriot. But you can't start it until you're a Patriot. And then once you've earned your Dolly Madison, you have to be 15 years old before you can even start your Stars and Stripes. So it's not like this, just go in, get her done. You have time frames that you can work on this stuff. But it takes a whole lot to get here. And that fact brings me to the words of the AHG Creed that I believe that Elizabeth has exemplified so very well. What came to my mind as I was thinking, first and foremost, was perseverant and resourceful. As an American Heritage girl, Lizzie has made an oath that she would live by our creed words. And indeed, I believe she has, but those were the two that really just jumped out at me when I think of Lizzie. And the Knopp family joined our troop in 2014, and Elizabeth was in the 8th grade. So she was her second year as a pioneer, and they were not familiar with how the book works. I've been in this in the 13 years out of 14 that this troop is together, and I'm still not sure I've got it figured out. Okay. We were, as a troop, still learning how to go down and get all the requirements this way and all the requirements this way too. She had 1 year as a pioneer left since she joined as an 8th grader, and she managed to earn her level award in that year as well. So having pushed through, persevered, figured it out, resourceful to make things happen, and managed to earn that award before she moved up into her red shirt level, the Patriots. I have a cheat sheet. I didn't have it memorized, though. But it was no small feat to cram all that into 1 year. It was no small feat to do the things that she did as a Patriot to earn the Sergeant Stripes. I think perseverant definitely is a descriptive word for Lizzie. The first camp out that Elizabeth went on with her unit was at Montesano. And if I remember correctly, she earned the entire fire and fire safety badge on that camp out. All of the pictures I have of Lizzie from that camp out, see, I keep pictures again. She is neat to the stones right by the fire. And she was getting all of those requirements. And she didn't just wait for us to, okay, now we're going to work on this one. She's like, okay, can you sign this off? I did that with Michaela or with Johanna or whoever. And can you sign this off? Okay, what do I do next? And okay, I'm going to do this now. Can you watch me? And man, she was like, boom, 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 and had that badge. I was like, wow. But that's how she went about her entire AHG career. She was always focused on the goal and worked to reach it. It's really easy for high schoolers to get busy with their academics. They get harder in high school, require more of you. Some high schoolers are also involved in music or athletics, and Lizzie was both. She was involved in her church family, her youth group. She did those things too. So it's really easy to let your scouting goals to kind of fade away because you're focusing on these other things. But somehow she managed to balance all of those, persevere to this milestone. But she's not only been perseverant, she's also been compassionate to those that we served in service projects like honoring the veterans, making blankets for the mission. She's been helpful and honest as she worked with her peers in adult leadership. I've never had Elizabeth tell me, no, I can't help you when I would ask her to do something. She's always, in word and deed, been loyal and respectful to her family, her friends, and her troop. I've never heard her speak ill of others. She's Ooh, now I've reached pure and reverent in our creed. And I wanted to share just a little bit about the religious requirement. Part of the Stars and Stripes program is they have to do a religious requirement. Usually takes 3 months of a mentorship and Bible study. We have a couple of options that are available. But she chose, and I'm not going to get the name of this correct. Can you tell me the name of that religious award, any of you? That it's called, there's a different name for it anyway. Spiritual development. And they had a framework that they had to work in to create a Bible study, a mentorship, and accountability, and writing a report, these different things, and going through a book together and stuff. So they did this, and it was a 3-month thing. Well, 2 years later, they're still having those Bible studies, and they've gone through multiple books together and prayed for one another and been accountability partners to one another with her mentor. I saw her mentor. And it was a beautiful thing. So Lizzie did that with 2 other patriots, and it was very, very beautiful thing. And it wasn't just a let's do this and check it off the box. It lasted 2 years, and sometimes I would walk in and hear them praying together or asking each other to pray for each other, and it was so beautiful. It just really blessed me to be able to see that, to see you guys put that together and bless each other that way. But I cherish the opportunity to have been in Veterans Day parades with her, camped with her, tasted her Dutch oven meals, learned rifle shooting and range safety with her in the rain, hiked with her in extreme heat and in the rain, and sit around campfires listening to her and her fellow AHGers share their hearts with our traditional roses, buds, and thorns. So today, the rose is the achievement of Stars and Stripes that Elizabeth has earned. The thorn is that she has now reached the stars in her AHG career and is moving on to the next phase. And we'll miss having her here. The bud is I can't wait to see where God will take this beautiful vessel of honor. What's next for her? I hope that she has learned people skills and other skills throughout this program that's going to benefit her in the next chapters of her life. And I feel confident that that's true. Congratulations, Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, will you please join me up here? I'd much rather look at you than speaking to the microphone, so you guys are going to have to listen up. As a Stars and Stripes recipient, you will now be called to a higher standard of service, responsibility, and honor. But I know you can handle it. Joining this elite group of young women is no small feat. It took hard work, countless hours and tears, and an abundance of prayers. With this award, people will acknowledge you as a leader, as a server, and most importantly, as a follower of Jesus Christ our Lord. Elizabeth, the whole purpose of American Heritage Girls is to build women of integrity through the creed, oath, and service, and that they would love the Lord. Through the years of knowing you, working side by side with you, and holding each other accountable for numerous things, I have witnessed the creed and the oath becoming a part of the core of who you are. You, my friend, are intelligent. You are beautiful. You are strong. You are joyful, and you are wise. God has given me the blessing of watching your growth, which is his work woven in your life. I am beyond proud to say you are, in fact, a woman of godly integrity. But as you leave these doors of this church and you hang up your sash, know your job is not over, and this is not the end. Understand the impact of what you have accomplished through the years of American Heritage Girls and what you did for the Vision Ministry Center. Those beautiful, strong tree trunks will support the cabin that will host many believers and unbelievers, allowing them the chance to experience the saving grace of our Savior. Because of the Lord's calling and your faithfulness for stepping out, you will be experiencing and having that joy of those divine experiences that those people get to have. I will say, you made me really nervous when you were analyzing my project, when you were asking these questions after question to see how much dedication it took and time it took to receive the Stars and Stripes Award. It is a daunting task, but you passed with flying colors. However, the future is up to you. You can choose to put away all the knowledge you learned from the badges you completed and the hours you spent cultivating your leadership skills, or you can blaze a new trail with all the gifts the Lord has given you. It is a scary road, full of the unknown, but know you are not alone. You have a troop, you have a family, you have me, and you have God. Knowing Elizabeth Marie Knapp can conquer all things and anything this world has to throw at her. This is not just an award, but this is a stepping stone to your life. The question remains, do you accept it?
I do.
Love you. I'm gonna miss you.
Elizabeth, I now ask you to repeat after me. I reaffirm my promise
I reaffirm my promise
to live the American Heritage Girl Oath,
to live the American Heritage Girls Oath,
to love God,
to love God,
cherish my family,
cherish my family,
honor my country, and serve in my community.
honor my country, and serve in my community.
I take on the responsibility of the Stars and Stripes Award.
I take on the responsibility of the Stars and Stripes Award.
On my honor, I will do my best
On my honor, I will do my best
to be an example to others,
to be an example to others,
to use my influence
to use my influence
to promote the values of AHG to others,
to promote the values of AHG to others,
and with God's help,
and with God's help,
to live as a woman of integrity.
to live as a woman of integrity.
As troop coordinator for AL 3110, and in accordance with the rules and regulations of National American Heritage Girls, I certify that Elizabeth Knapp has completed all the requirements to receive this honor of the Stars and Stripes Award. Will Elizabeth's parents please come forward? Elizabeth, your parents have undoubtedly been a primary source of help and strength to you. Have your mom place the Stars and Stripes patch on your uniform. Those clips are awful. That's yours. And now it gives me great pleasure to present to you Elizabeth Knapp, our newest recipient of the Stars and Stripes Award.
Thank you. American Heritage Girls has been very impactful on my life, and I am honored to now receive the highest award in AHG. I want to tell you all a little about my experience in AHG. I joined American Heritage Girls as a second-year pioneer in 2014. That program year, I earned my Harriet Tubman, the Level Award for Pioneers. Earning my Harriet Tubman was a new and growing experience for me. The 10-hour project required for it was really the first major thing I'd ever organized and coordinated, and it started preparing me for Stars and Stripes journey and for life in general. 2 years later, I earned the Patriot Level Award, the Dolly Madison, which gave me additional experience in planning, organizing, leading, coordinating, communicating, time management, and other important skills. After that, I started working towards my Stars and Stripes Award, and now here I am. During this time, I also got to complete badges, serve my community and country for over 150 hours, establish and grow great relationships with some amazing people, and grow spiritually in my relationship with God. But the biggest impact American Heritage Girls has been in my life is learning to be a leader. As the senior squad leader for the Pioneer and Patriot unit, I had the responsibility of planning meetings, making agendas, sending out emails, and leading the meetings each week. In addition, implementing and leading all the projects gave me additional practice being a leader. AHG provides a great environment for girls to grow into women of integrity, and I'm honored to have been a part of it. Achieving the Stars and Stripes Award was not easy, and it took a lot of time, effort, and perseverance, but I have learned and grown through it. Being recognized as a Stars and Stripes recipient is an honor and a symbol of all the hard work and perseverance it took, and a symbol of all I've learned and how I've grown because of AHG. I definitely could not have done this all on my own, and so I would like to thank a few people who have helped me and supported me during this journey. First, I would like to thank my parents. Would you both please come up here? My mom and dad have indeed been a primary source of help and strength to me. I couldn't list all that they have done to help me, but I know for a fact I couldn't have done it without them. Thank you both for all your support, encouragement, work, energy, and time you have put into helping me and sacrificed for me to help me through my Stars and Stripes process. I present each of you with a Stars and Stripes parent pin to represent all your work and as you have walked this journey with me. I'd also like to thank my Stars and Stripes mentor, Mrs. Wiersma, for all her support and help. Unfortunately, Mrs. Wiersma could not make it today because she's with her mom, who is on hospice. As my mentor, Mrs. Wiersma has gone through the Stars and Stripes process with me from the beginning to the end. She offered ideas, advice, encouragement, and helped make it happen. Abigail, could you come up here to receive the Stars and Stripes mentor pin for her? I would also like to thank two other ladies who have supported and helped me during all my years in HG and during my Stars and Stripes journey. Would Mrs. Harker and Mrs. Prevost please come up here? As the troop coordinator, Mrs. Harker keeps everything running and knows the answers to all the questions.
No.
She can figure them out if she doesn't know them at the moment. And without all her hard work, I wouldn't even have the opportunity to pursue this award. Mrs. Prevost has been one of my leaders since I first joined HG and has always encouraged me and helped me to reach the next achievement and ultimately the Stars and Stripes Award. Thank you both for your support, encouragement, advice, and help during all my years in HG. I wouldn't be here without y'all. I forgot, this one's yours. And yours. Thank you. Thank you. I would also like to thank all of you who helped implement my project at the lodge. I couldn't have done it without y'all. And finally, I would like to thank God and give him all the glory. It is only through him that I was able to achieve this award. He worked in so many ways during my Stars and Stripes journey and project, providing strength, perseverance, guidance, volunteers, and much more. It was incredible to see how God worked and grew me during this time. I will end with a Bible verse. Psalm 115 verse 1 says, "Not to us, Lord, not to us, but to your name be the glory because of your love and faithfulness."
See, Lizzie might think she's getting away from this easily, but we're actually going to start hounding her big time about coming back as a leader in training. So you hurry up and graduate and get all that stuff done. Yeah, we want you back. We're not going to let you go quite that easily. Tonight has been very special. Thank you for coming and participating in this wonderful event. After the closing prayer, we will have a slideshow for you to enjoy. And then please join us for a reception in the fellowship hall down the hallway and to the left to honor Elizabeth. Also, please sign the memory book pages in the fellowship hall if you have not done so. It is in the fellowship hall, right? That's what I thought. It says in the back, but in the fellowship hall. We will now retire the colors.
Color guard, attention. Troop, attention. Audience, please rise for the retiring of the colors. Color guard, forward march. Color guard, halt. Color guard, advance. Color guard, salute. Color guard, prepare to retire the colors. Retire the colors. Troop, salute. Those not in uniform, please place your right hand over your heart. Color guard, reform. Color guard, forward march. Color guard, halt. Ready, 2. Color guard dismissed. Please join us in prayer.
You guys will pray with me. Lord, I just want to thank you once again for the time that you've allowed us to celebrate with Lizzie, Lord, her great achievements here. Lord, I thank you for your promise that he who has begun a good work in us, Lord, will complete it until the end. And Lord, I'm excited to see what that is like for Elizabeth, Lord, and I pray that you help continue that work in her, that you surround her with people like you have now to encourage her and to strive, Lord, to be more like you. Lord, I pray for those who are here that are in her life, that you equip them to be a support for her as she continues her journey. Lord, I pray as we leave here, Lord, that we'd be examples of you, that people would be able to see us as a city on a hill, Lord, as lights for you. Lord, I pray for this, Lord, not to be my will, Lord, but to lift you up. Amen.